They didn't just steal your freedom, they stole the entire earth, then sold it back to you piece by piece while making you pay rent to exist on it. For thousands of years, people lived on the land through common rights. You could graze animals, grow food, gather wood, fish the rivers. The land wasn't owned by anyone in the way we understand ownership today. It sustained entire communities. Then the elites decided that wasn't profitable enough. Between 1750 and 1850 in England alone, they passed over 4,000 parliamentary Enclosure Acts. That's 6.8 million acres of common land, land that belonged to the people, legally stolen and handed over to wealthy landowners. They literally passed laws in Parliament to give themselves the people's land. The justification? Improvement. They said it would make farming more efficient. The real reason? They wanted to force people off the land and into factories so they could exploit their labour for the Industrial Revolution. And once they took the land, they didn't give it away for free. They sold it or rented it. Suddenly the people who had lived on that land for generations had to pay to be there. They turned a birthright into a commodity. This wasn't just Britain. This pattern repeated across the world. Colonizers did the same thing to indigenous people. Stole the land, then sold it back through legal deeds and titles. In America, freed black families bought land after slavery only for it to be taken again through legal loopholes, heirs property scams, and predatory laws. Even today, what you think is your house or land is not truly yours. It's called fee simple title, the highest form of ownership most people can get. But the government can still tax you on it, take it through eminent domain, or seize it if you don't pay. True allodial title, absolute ownership with no superior claim, is almost non-existent. They took the commons, they took the land, they took the resources. Then they sold it all back to us and called it progress. Now we pay mortgages, rent, council tax, and property taxes just to exist on the ground we were born on. That's not ownership, that's a racket. They stole the world from under our feet and convinced us to thank them for letting us rent it back. That's the real theft. And most people still don't see it. But they didn't stop at the land. Once they had taken the physical earth from the people, they went after something even bigger. They stole the right to exist on it. They created a system so diabolical that most people still defend it today. They turned being alive into a taxable event. Think about that. You need to eat. So they control the food supply, patent the seeds, and flood the soil with chemicals. You need water, so they bottle it, meter it, and charge you for it. You need shelter, so they make you pay rent or take out a 30-year mortgage just to have a roof over your head. And if you can't pay, they take it all back. They created birth certificates, a document that registers you as a legal entity the moment you're born. That certificate is traded on financial markets. Your name in all capital letters is not you. It's a corporate fiction they created in your name, and they've been using it to generate wealth of your existence since the day you took your first breath. This is why everything is registered. Your car, your house, your business. Even your children are registered to the state. The new system is far more sinister. They convinced you that you're free while they quietly own everything you need to survive. The land was never theirs to sell. The water was never theirs to meter. The air and the food were never theirs to patent. They stole the earth from under our feet, built their entire empire on that theft, and then sold it back to us at a profit. And once they owned the land, the water, and the resources, they went for the final piece: your time, your labour, and your very right to exist. They turned life itself into a subscription service. You are born. They register you as a legal fiction. Your name in all capital letters on the birth certificate. That document is then used as collateral. It is traded on financial markets. From the moment you take your first breath, you are already an asset in their system. You need food. They control the supply chain, patent the seeds, poison the soil, and charge you for what was once freely available. You need water. They meter it, bottle it, and sell it back to you. This is not freedom. This is neo-feudalism with better branding. The old kings at least admitted they were lords ruling over serfs. The modern system is far more insidious. They convince the serfs that they are free citizens, while quietly owning everything required for survival. Every tax you pay, every bill, every subscription, every fine, it is all rent on a world they stole from you and sold back at a profit. They didn't just take the earth. They took the concept of belonging to it. And the most tragic part, most people defend this system. They call it society. They call it the economy. They call it necessary. They seize your property. They fine you. They imprison you. They even take your children if they decide you're unfit, according to their rules. This is not freedom. This is modern feudalism wearing a suit and calling itself democracy. Every tax, every bill, every subscription, every fine, it is all rent on a world they stole from you and sold back at a profit. They didn't just steal the earth, they stole the fundamental right to exist without paying tribute to their system. And the most heartbreaking part? Most people still defend it. They call it society. They call it the economy. They call it the way things are. They never stop to ask the most dangerous question of all. If the land, the water, the air, and the resources were here long before any of us were born, who the fuck gave them the right to claim ownership of it all and then charge us to live? Who the fuck gave them the right to claim ownership of the entire earth and then charge us just to exist on the land we were born on? The answer is brutal. No one. They stole it. They stole it through acts of parliament, through colonization, through legal trickery, through violence, and through centuries of rewriting history. They took what was never theirs, wrapped their theft in laws and paperwork, and created a system so complete that we now pay them rent, taxes, and mortgages just to breathe on the ground beneath our feet. They turned a birthright into a business, slave away our entire lives to own a tiny piece of what should have always belonged to us. So the real question isn't just who gave them the right? The real question is, what the fuck are we going to do about it? Because until we stop accepting this stolen reality as normal, until we remember that the earth was never theirs to sell, until we take back our birthright to simply be on this land without paying tribute to thieves, we will remain exactly what they designed us to be, tenants on our own fucking planet. The biggest lie ever sold is cracking. The illusion is breaking, and the age of renting our own world is coming to an end. So the only question left is this. Are you ready to stop paying rent on a world that was always yours? Because the moment enough of us remember, the moment we stop consenting, the moment we stand up and say, this earth is not yours to sell, everything changes. The land is waiting. The earth is waiting. The question is, are you ready to come home?
They took the Commons, passed the Acts in Parliament halls, enclosed 6 million acres, built their empire on our fall. Said it was for progress, said the people were too poor, but the truth was always simple, they just wanted more and more. Turned the freeborn into tenants on the ground they used to roam, made us pay forever for the place we call our home. From the cradle to the graveyard, every breath comes with a fee. They stole the world we stood on and sold it back to me. They stole the land. They stole the land. Put a price on everything they got put in our hands. They stole the land. They stole the land. Now we work and pay forever just to stand where we began. Birth certificates, a contract, naming capitals on the page. Created a corporation in your name from the very first day. Traded on the markets, used as collateral for their schemes, while you're out here grinding just to chase your own dreams. Water's needed, food's poisoned, air is taxed through carbon lies. Every step you take they wanna cut before you die. They didn't just take the dirt, they took the right to be. Told us this was freedom while they laughed behind the screen. This ain't society, this is modern day enclosure. Neo-feudalism with better marketing exposure. They own the ground, they own the law, they own the game we play, but the soil still remembers who we're really used to obey.